Hello students. Today our topic of discussion is creation of linked list. So here we are going to learn that how to write our first program which creates a linked list. But before the creation of linked list, it becomes important for us to understand that how actually values are getting saved in linked list. So we have only two kinds of memory allocation. One is the continuous memory allocation that is being used in case of arrays, and another is the non-continuous allocations. And linked list is making use of this. So the values which I want to save, they are not in continuity. We don't reserve a huge block of memory with us. We want to save values at different places in my memory. So if the values are saved at different places, so in order to maintain the linear order or linearity in the list, I'll have to connect the values somehow, so that we come to know that this is the first value, this is the second value, and this is the third value. See, if I want to maintain this linear order, then along with the value, it becomes necessary for me to save the location of the next value as well. Now see, here one example has been given, and in this diagram you can observe that I am saving three different values: 10, 20, 30. 10 has been saved at location number 100, 20 is at 200, and 30 is at 300. So they are not in continuity. So what I am going to do, since 10 is my first value, so first of all I am going to save this value 10 at this address 100 at a particular starting point at a variable which is simply telling me that this is the starting point of the linked list. So I name this variable as start. After that, along with 10, I am going to save the address of the next value so that I come to know that where is my second value. Similarly, the address of third value is 300. So along with my second value, I am going to save the address of third value as well. So the actual set of values is 10, 20, 30. But if I want to create a linked list, I am going to save it like 10, the next value is at 200. 20, the next value is at 300. 30, that's it. My list is over. So in linked list, along with value, address of next value is also stored. So only specifying the data type of value is not sufficient for me. So along with the value, I need an address also. So what I am going to do, I am going to design a new data structure for this, which consists of both the things together. So I am going to call it a node. So before designing a node or using the node, let's see what actually we want to do. So here I have already created some programs for your reference so that it becomes easy for me to understand the working of linked list. So I am executing this program first so that you come to know that what actually is expected from us, means how do I want to save the values. So here I have executed this program. So it's asking me to enter some data value. Let's say my data value is 10. So I'm entering 10 over here. After that, it's asking me that do you want to enter more values? Let's say yes. Then again 20 is the value. I want to add few more values. 30 is the next value. Now it's over. Now see how this linked list is being created. My first value was 10, and see my next value has been saved before 20. It's not the memory location before this. I just want to say that I have created a linked list in such a way that it's saving the values in the beginning of the list. So first of all 10 was saved, and then 20 and then 30, and every time insertion is being done in the beginning of the list. We can make use of other approaches as well, and here we have another approach also, where I am saving the value at the end of the linked list. So let's look into the output of this also, so that we come to know that what is expected from this program. So again, the same kind of interactive window is with me. So I want to enter my first value, that's the 10. Yes, then 20. I want to add one more value, and the final value is 30. So no, that's enough for me. Now look into the linked list. This is how I want to save the linked list: 10, then 20, then 30. So these are the two different ways in which I can create the linked list. I can add the values within the linked list in the beginning of the list every time whenever I want to make insertion, or I can add the value at the end of the list when I want to make insertion. So now we are going to see that what has been written in these programs. So let's come back to this. Just want to understand that what are the different parts in this program. So what I have told you, that we need a special structure which consists of both the value and the address, and we are going to call it a node. So we just want to see that what should be the design of the node. So let's design it. So somehow I can visualize that my node is of this type, which consists of two different parts. One is the data part and another is the next part. So we don't have any data type available in any programming language which creates such kind of nodes for me. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to design it on my own. So if I'm making use of C programming language, so I'll have to design the entire structure of the node myself. So this is the structure which I want to design. So I'm designing a structure node which consists of two parts. One is the data part, which is the integer value, and another is a pointer, which is simply saving the address of the next value. Now what kind of address it is? If you look into this, that what kind of address it is pointing to another node, and this is what linked list is. Linked list is collection of nodes. So when I design a node, within a node I say that this is the data type of the value which I want to save. It may be integer, it may be character, it may be double float, or whatever you want to save. And along with that, it is going to have one pointer. Since I have placed this star over here, it means that I want to save the address. Now address of what? Address of another node. So this is how I have designed my node. Now let's create the node, because if I want to create a linked list, then I'll have to create different nodes. So if I want to create a node, so this is how we are going to create a node in C programming language. We are going to make use of malloc method, which is associated with memory allocation. So I just want to specify that I want to allocate memory. How much memory I want to allocate? Something which is equivalent to the size of my node which I have designed. So I am allocating memory equivalent to size of my node which I have designed. So when memory is allocated to me, what my system returns to me? My system gives me back one address, and that address is of type void. So what I'll have to do? I have to typecast it to the type of which I want to create nodes. So I'm allocating memory for nodes, and I'm getting back an address which is further pointing to a node. I'm naming this node as new node. So I'm going to create malloc. I'm going to create a node using malloc, and I'll get back one address, and that address will be represented by new node. So this is how we create a node. And if I need multiple nodes, it means I need to write this malloc function multiple times, and probably I'm going to write it in the form of a loop. So initially my linked list is empty, so we don't have anything in the linked list because I want to create a linked list. So initially start, which was used to save the address of the starting point of the linked list, it's null. It doesn't contain any address. So if it's null, then it clearly means that I'm about to enter the very first element in my linked list. So you can see here in this diagram that I'm going to create a new node and I'm going to associate this start with my new node. I'm going to say that right now start is null, but now associate the start with the new node. So I'll check this, that if start is equal to null, then I'll write that start is equal to new node. So since this is the very first node in my linked list, so definitely the link part is going to be null. I don't have any further element over here, so that's why I have written over here that link part or the next part of my new node is null. So once I have done this, now my linked list is not empty. Now my start pointer is not empty. Start pointer is containing the address of the new node. Now after that, whenever I want to make more allocations, then this else part will be executed because now start is not null. So what I am going to do, either I am going to add something in the beginning of the list or I am going to add something at the end of the list. So here I am writing something which is adding something in the beginning of the list. So this was the situation of my linked list, that this was the node which was already existing and it is being pointed by this start. So with the help of malloc, I can create another node and the name of the node is new node. So if I want to add something in the beginning, so what I'll have to do, that now I'm not going to make the link part of this new node or next part of this new node as null. So the next part of this new node is going to contain the address of the node which is already existing in the list in the beginning. So that's why I'm writing over here that the next part of this new node is containing start. And now my linked list is getting started from new node. I have changed the starting point for my linked list as well, because with the addition of new node in the beginning of the list, address of the starting pointer has also changed. So if I want to create multiple nodes, so what I'll have to do, I'll have to put all these things together in a loop so that I can create multiple loops. So this is how one loop has been designed, a loop has been written, and where you are creating the multiple nodes. Actually the instructions those were getting executed in that demo program. So I'm writing it in a do while loop. And one thing more I would like to tell over here, that whenever I want to work with a linked list, preferably use do while or while loop. We don't make use of for loops over here. Although loops can always be interchanged, but if I know that how many times or how many nodes are existing, then probably I will not make linked list. I am creating linked list because I don't know that what is the size of the list. My list is growing dynamically. So that's why I am going to make use of while loop, which simply specifies that if you want, whether you want to continue or not, whether you want to continue or not. If you want to continue, create node and attach in the list. If you don't want to continue, then come back. So this is how this while loop has been designed. So while my character, any character which I have selected is no, it's not no, I am repeating this. What I am repeating? This. Look into this line. Creating a node, writing something into its information part or data part, and checking whether it's the first node to be added or not. If this is the first node to be added, write it like this. Otherwise, make these kind of connections. So that is what we are supposed to do. So this is the complete program of linked list, which creates a linked list by inserting something in the beginning of the list, or I have written something for you here. This is the complete program. I have included all the relevant files which I need. I need stdio.h because somehow I need to make use of scanf printf. I need conio.h because one of the methods, maybe getch, I have used later on to get the character yes and no. So I am including conio.h. I am including the standard library also because I want to work with memory allocations. I am making use of malloc method. So here I have declared a structure. You have already seen that what this structure is, and I am specifying that my linked list is empty. Now I am writing one method which is creating a linked list for me, and you can see that this is the same code which we have discussed before this. So I am defining a character just for checking whether it's yes or no, and I am defining a new node, and I am repeating this thing in do while loop, that first of all allocate memory to a single node, write something into data part, and if this is the first node to be added, then make it a starting node, otherwise add it in the beginning of the list. And just ask your user that do you want to continue. If he says yes, then keep on allocating the memory, writing something in the data part and adding the node in the beginning. So this is what is to be repeated every time. And we have another method. That method is a show method, which simply prints the linked list for me. Printing the linked list means that I need to start from the starting point and go until and unless I don't find the null. I don't find null value in the address part of the node. So now you can understand that why I kept track of this start pointer. Why? Because somehow I need to traverse the linked list. Then I should know then what is the starting point of the linked list. So that's why I kept track of that start pointer also. So this show method, it means that starting that this is the pointer, new node, its starting address is start. Until and unless this new node is not null, what I am doing, I am simply printing the data part on the screen and I am incrementing the pointer part of the node. So it is going to print a value, and now my pointer will move on to next value. Print the value, pointer will move on to next value. Print the value, pointer will move on to next value. So this is how the entire list will be traversed and you will be shown with the linked list. Right? So this is the driver method, main method, which is calling this create method and this show method. So this is a simple program written in C language which creates your first program on linked list. So similar kind of thing we can do for creating something at the end of the linked list as well. Everything is same except this part. So whenever I want to add something in the linked list at the end of the list, then after insertion my linked list will always be like this. So before insertion, let's say I was having a single node like this. So here I am maintaining two different pointers. One is the start pointer, which simply indicates the starting point of the list. So I will never change it. I'll define it and I'll keep it separate. Then after that, just to traverse this, that what is the current location of the linked list, we are going to maintain another pointer, which is the current pointer. So in current pointer, we are going to save the node which we are going to add now. We want to add something at the end of the list. So what we'll have to do, if I want to add this new node at the end of the list, definitely its next part will be null. But now next part of this current node, it will not be null. So how I'm going to make these changes? So I'm going to make the next part of this current node as my new node. And now my new node is the current node. I cannot swap these steps. I cannot say that I am going to write the second step first and this first line in the second place. It cannot happen because it's going to change the linked list. It's going to change the things. So first of all, what I'll have to do, I'll have to specify that right now this is the current pointer, add a new node after this, and now my new node is the current node. So this is how we are going to make insertion at the end of the list, and rest of the program is same, because that's the only thing which was different over here. So we have already seen the output, and look here, the program is written over here for you. It's totally the same program. You will not find any difference. The only difference is that along with saving the data value, here I am saving the next part also, which is null, because I am adding something at the end of the list, and at the end my address is null. And if it is not the first node of the list, then this is how I am going to make the changes, and rest of the things are same, because traversing is not going to be changed. If I want to traverse the list, I'll have to start from the start pointer and go until I don't get the null address. So everything is same for rest of the program. So this was something where I added something in the beginning of the list and I added something at the end of the list. Right? So one more thing is there, that let's say if I want to add something in the middle of the list, or insertion after a given item. Let's say my linked list is containing 10, 20, 40 and 50, and I want to add something after 20. So what will be my logic for this? First of all, I'll have to traverse the list to find the location of this item 20, and then I'm going to add something after that. So how to traverse the linked list? So I have already told you that how to traverse the linked list. If I am printing the values written within the linked list, starting from the start pointer and going until I don't get that null pointer, it means I am traversing the linked list. So if I am traversing the linked list, if I know that how to traverse a linked list, I can always find the location also, because we know that how to do the linear search. So we are going to apply the linear search. So you can see that show method where traversing is done, and you can write something where I am finding the location of the item. So now create a new node using malloc, and now whatever node you have created using malloc, attach it after the LOC. Right? So what you are supposed to do, whatever new node you have created, link it to the link part of LOC, and now link of LOC to be attached with new node. Right? So I leave this thing as an assignment for you. I have already explained you that how to add something in the beginning of the list and how to add something in the end of the list. And this is an assignment for you, that write a piece of code which is making insertion after a particular item. So traverse the list to find out the location of the item and create a node and add the node after that item. So do it yourself. So all the hints are available, right? So I suppose you can do it very well. So with this, we are over with that topic, that how to create our first linked list. Thank you.